Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Alexis Lopez. Welcome to the channel. This is Alexis Lopez TCG. As you can tell from the channel name, it's all about TCGs in this channel. So today we're going to be looking at Lorcana Chapter 2 starter decks, including what we got lucky with as far as our starter deck tournament prizes. We got some prize packs for the actual tournament we went to. We go to this comic book store called the Comic Book. Shout out to you guys. We do like starter deck tournament, and then we have they have different raffles and prizes that they do for either doing really well, and then of course they do raffles for just attending and stuff like that. So it's a pretty cool event. We went ahead and went there. We got both starter decks. It was both me and my kid and my wife. We all went. So we were to get both starter decks, and then we got, of course, both packs from the starter decks, and then we got 4 chapter 2 packs, and then 4 first chapter packs. So that was pretty cool. We're gonna go through today and actually look at both starter decks and see exactly what's in them. Now the cards may be mixed up as far as the order they came in, because of course we had to open them, get them ready, and then go and actually play through the tournament. So they've already been sleeved up. We've gone through them, we played them, so we can talk a little bit about them. I will talk about first the deck that my son used at the tournament, which was here we have the starter deck for Amber and Sapphire. That's of course with Gaston and the Queen. So that's the one that he used. I didn't really get a chance to use it, so I don't know a lot of the synergies on here, but we're gonna go through and look through the cards. And after we look through both starter decks and look through the cards, we're gonna go ahead and open up this pack, see what we get. Maybe we get lucky. Starter deck luck is a lot of the packs and starter decks from the last chapter people were saying were the ones that were getting the enchanted, so maybe we get lucky again. We've already pulled 1 enchanted on this channel, so hey, we can always shoot for more, right? We're always okay with more. So we're gonna start off with the first one here that we have, which is the Queen. You can't really see because of the foil and obviously the glare on the sleeve, but this is a foil super rare. This is the Queen, which is commanding presence. So shift 2, and then who is the fairy? So whenever this character quests, chosen opposing character gets -4 this turn, and chosen character gets +4 this turn. So pretty good, powerful card. An easy way to kind of make something that it was already on the field and kind of chump something else on the opposing team's field. So pretty good card going in there, and of course energy to make something pretty big. The next one we can have here, Gaston. This is a foil rare as well. This is a shift 4, cost 6. I didn't even show you guys the Queen cost. I'm sorry. So it's cost of 5, but it is inkable, so that's pretty cool. And she's a 4/3. Gaston here is a 6, but he's not inkable. He's a 4/4. He's shift 4 though. He has 3 lore. Develop brain. So when you play this character, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. You may put 1 into your hand and put the rest of the bottom in your deck in any order. So the good thing is you can kind of it's kind of like almost like a scry 3 in a way. Look at the 3, the 3 cards, kind of put 1 out there, and then put the rest in the bottom in any order that you like. This is the next card here. We have Christopher Robin, rare. The adventure. He costs 6, but he's inkable. He's a 2/6, 2 lore. So we'll always be together. Whenever you ready this character, if you have 2 or more other characters in play, gain 2 lore. So this is a good one to kind of play with the presence of like, hey, you already have it on the field, and you're able to kind of have something to like make it kind of go from questing to lore, questing to lore, questing to lore. Kind of have a good way to keep gaining more lore on top of being able to quest if you use ready cards, or even if those ready cards are like, hey, you can't quest again, you can still attack other characters. So that's a pretty good one to use there in that combination. We have here Hiram Glabersham, toy maker. He costs 4. He's inkable. 1 and a 6. Artificer. When you play this character and whenever he quests, you may banish one of your items to draw 2 cards. So a lot of the conversations, with Blue has been around the use of items. So we're seeing more synergy coming together for the item cards here for the color blue, which is pretty good. Next rare we have in the starter pack, we have Winnie the Pooh, having a think. 3, inkable, comes with 2/3, 2 lore. Honey Pot. Whenever this character quests, you may put a card from your hand into your inkwell face down. So a good way to kind of ramp up on your ink right there at the beginning. Pretty good card for blue. Grand Duke. 2 inkable, 2/2 to rare. 1 lore. Yes, your majesty. So your prince, princess, king, and queen characters get +1. So we've seen other characters in chapter 1 stuff kind of talk about princesses get certain effects, especially like the ready stuff. So that one's the first one that I've seen. It's like prince, princess, king, and queen. So like kind of any royalty. Of course, it's the Grand Duke that is serving them, so it works out. This is the first common that we see here. Now this starter deck here is the Snow White and the Seven Dwarves kind of synergy that kind of came in the starter deck. So this is Snow White, Lost in the Forest. Cost 2. It's inkable. It comes with 2/3, 2 strength, 2 power, 3 toughness, 1 lore. I won't hurt you. When you play this character, you may remove to 2 damage from chosen character. So, you know, her thing is all about being nice. The dwarves comes in and heals people on the field, so that's pretty good. We get 2 of them on the starter deck. Next one we're gonna see here is we're gonna see Grumpy. Grumpy's 4. It's inkable. Comes with 3 power, 4 toughness, 1 lore, and it says there's trouble brewing. Your other 7 dwarves characters get +1. So again, this is where the synergy comes in, talking about your other dwarves character, kind of like the Floatsome and the Jetsome and the Elsa and the Anna. It's kind of like that partnership and how they kind of come in and flow together. So it's pretty good. This is for synergy with the dwarves. We get 3 of the Grumpies in there. I know a lot of people are going to be happy that Grumpy's now in Lorcana. So obviously he's one of the fan favorites when it comes to the dwarves. Next we have Happy. He costs 5. He's inkable as well. 3/5, 2 lore. So support. So whenever this character quests, and you may add their power to another chosen character's power this turn. So again, keeps putting the synergy together. This time, of course, is giving more power to other characters. So the next dwarf we see here is Sleepy. God, what great art on this one. It's 2. It only costs 2. It is inkable. 2/3, and then it has 2 lore. It's pretty good. This character enters the play exerted, yawn. So it's a little powerful, but they mitigate that by making sure that it entered exerted, so you cannot really do anything else right away with it if it's exerted. But other than that, it's pretty good. 3 Sleepies in the deck. Next one we're gonna see is Bashful. Bashful is 4. It's inkable. 2/5, 3 lore. Oh gosh, this character can't quest unless you have another 7 dwarves character in play. This is a pretty good amount of lore for for only a 4 cost card, and it's inkable. But if you have other dwarves on the field, look at that, just synergy, put them together, able to kind of ramp up that lore pretty quickly. The next one here is Doc. It costs 3. It's inkable. 2/3. Share and ShareAlike. Whenever this character quests, you may pay 1 ink less for the next character you play this turn. So whenever this character quests, so if you find a way to make this character quest more, you can actually make the next cards that you play this turn much cheaper. But for now, just being able to pay 1 less cheaper when this character quests, it's good. We get 2 of those in the starter deck. Next, we're gonna have Sneezy. It costs 2. It's inkable, and it's 1/4 and 1 lore. But shoot, whenever you play this character or another 7 dwarves character, you may give chosen character -1 this turn. So this helps to actually mitigate and lower the power of another character you want to challenge in this instance. But the good thing is about this is not only when this comes into play, but when other dwarves come into play, that the character effect actually comes into play. So that's pretty good. And then we have the 3 Sneezies here that come together. Next one, another fan favorite, is the Dopey. Dopey is 3 ink, and it's inkable. Dopey, always playful. 2/2, 1 lore. When this character is banished, your other 7 dwarves get +2 power until the start of your next turn. That's pretty good. Pretty much feel free to quest with this one, because then when it gets banished, until the start of your next turn, your other dwarves, get +2, so that's pretty good. Or not only just quest with them, but also attack with them first for the challenge. It's pretty good. We get 2 Dopies in the starter deck. Next, we have an uncommon Gaston. 3 cost, inkable, 3/3, and he's a 1 lore. But as you can see here, he's also a singer 5, so that's actually pretty funny. We've seen it in the show. He's a pretty good singer, like in the actual animated film. A great singer in Gaston, of course. Gaston can do whatever he wants, so he's the best at everything. So singer 5, we get 3 Gastons in the starter deck for that one. Next one is LeFou. Cost 2, it's inkable. 1 and 2, 2 lore. If you have a character named Gaston in play, you pay 1 less to play this character. So if you have just 2 Gastons, this character is pretty much free every single time, and it is a 1-2 with 2 lore, so that's pretty powerful. Or if you cannot seem to draw any Gastons, just ink them. I mean, it's not too bad, right? Pretty good. 2 of them in the starter deck. This is our Calming Queen. It's a 1 cost, inkable, 2/2, and 1 lore. So this is one of the first vanilla cards that we really see in this set. So that's one of the things about that, you know, when I was playing in the starter deck tournament with other people, that's one thing we were noticing. Not a lot of vanilla cards, or aka cards without effects, in this set for chapter 2. A lot of them really had a lot of things to do, whether it's ETBs, which are enter the battlefield effects, or aka when you play it or when it leaves play effects. So it's a lot of synergy that way, and a lot of more reading to do this time around. So it's pretty cool. This is the first song that we have, which is Painting the Roses Red. It costs 2, it's inkable, and it says up to 2 chosen characters get -1 power this turn, draw a card. So the first time we really see a draw engine, or a way to draw cards in this deck here. So, and this also makes sure that other 2 characters get -1. So again, make them weaken when you challenge them, and they're challenging back. We get 2 of those in the starter deck. This is the chapter 1 card that everybody's already seen before, Bell, Innovative Engineer. I won't go through it, but there are one thing we noticed. Even though it's a chapter 2 starter deck, we did see that there's a couple of chapter 1 cards in both starter decks. So not too many, but it was surprising because I hadn't seen everything available. So when I saw those chapter 1 cards, I was like, oh, what's going on? So, you know, that's happening here too. Now this is the Nook. He's a water spirit. It's a 4/3. It costs 4. It's inkable as well. 1 lore, but it does have ward. So opponents can choose this character except the challenge. So this is a good card to have for challenging. Obviously, it's just only 1 lore, so it's not a lot of lore you get, but it is inkable, so still getting some use out of it. We get 3 of those in the starter deck. This is the first character we get from Zootopia that we see is the Judy Hopps. Cost 3. It's inkable. 2/3. 2 lore, so don't call me cute. When you play this character, you may banish chosen item. Its player draws a card. So it's kind of like one of those things. If you know that somebody's gonna be playing a lot of items, obviously you're gonna have this in your deck to be able to banish those items. So if you see that the meta is going item, then Judy Hopps will be a good counter for that. Plus, it's 3, so it only costs 3. It's a 2/3, so it survives a lot of the 2/2 fights, and then of course has 2 lore, so it's not too bad of a card to use. Just in case the other people, or your opponent, sorry, has items, quickly get rid of them. So it comes with 2 of them in this starter deck. Pro DeVille, only costs 2, inkable, 3/2, so it's a strong one coming in for 2 costs. Now get going. So during your turn, this character gains evasive, and it's only 1 lore. So this is a good card to have against evasive cards. So a lot of the cards in, the obvious, like the red and the green had evasive, but also like the Pascals and the Floatsums and the Jetsums when together had the evasive as well. So this card is good to get rid of them because a lot of them were like only like 2/2 for the evasive. So here you go. On your turn, they're evasive, but pretty good cost, and of course, inkable. You get 3 of those in the starter deck. The next one here is another vanilla card. It's an Owl. Just 1 cost, inkable, 2/2, and 1 lore. Nothing more, nothing less. Pretty good card. A good one to have if you know every time you see it, you just ink it, or you just need something to put on the board. It's only 1 cost, so 3 owls. Like TDs here. We've already seen this one for chapter 1, so we get 2 of those in the starter deck. Ground Pot. It's the first item that we see here. It's a 2 cost, but it's also inkable. The best I've ever tasted. So this one, all you have to do is exert it or tap it, and you remove 1 damage each from up to 2 chosen characters. So that's a pretty good one to have on your board. So once you put it down, you pretty much can easily every turn remove damage, at least 1 from each 2 chosen characters, and it's exerted. So this is actually synergistic with something like the Rapunzel Great Ray Healing, right? When it comes in and takes away damage, and you get 1 draw for each damage removed. If you use this on top of that, you're taking the minimum away 2 damage for sure, because it's 1 damage from up to 2 chosen characters. So that's good synergy with cards like that. And then you get 2 of those Gumbo Pots in this starter deck. We get Popsicle, which is an item. So it's a 1 and it's inkable. Jumbo Pop. When you play this item, you may draw a card. Good way to get more cards back, of course. And then that Dreadwood, you banish this item and then you remove up to 2 damage from chosen character. So again, more damage removal, but also at this time when you play it, able to draw a card pretty quickly. And it's only cost 1 and it is inkable, so it's a good ones to have. So this is 3 of them in total in the starter deck. We're almost through. We have a couple more cards left. So this one's 4 dozen eggs. It's a song, as you can see here. It's Gaston with the eggs, but it is only 4 and it's inkable. So that means that Gaston could play this and sing this in for free. This one says your character gains resist +2 until the start of your next turn, which means that damage dealt to them is reduced by 2. So any damage coming to those characters is immediately reduced by 2. So Gaston is able to play this one in for free by singing it, as we saw. So this is 2 of them in the starter deck. Second to last card is Launch. It's an action. The first one that we've seen that is not inkable. It costs 3, but it is banish chosen item of yours and deal 5 damage to chosen character. So this one can do a pretty good amount of damage. You play an item deck, banish one of your items, do 5 damage to anything that comes out on the field. A lot of the characters here are not that big in Lorcana, so this is a good card to have if you're running an item deck. Quickly sacrifice some of your items to get rid of the bigger monsters. You have a lot of removal on the board pretty quickly. So that's 2 of them on the field. I think this card is going to see a lot of play soon, you know, especially going to see more item decks coming through with the new blue. So get ready for that one. The next one here is Fang Crossbow. It's an item. It costs 3. It's inkable. It has careful aim. You exert it and you pay 2. Chosen character gets -2 power this turn. And then you have Stay Back, which is you just tap this, banish this item, and then you banish chosen dragon character. So it's a little bit too focused on dragon characters for the actual banishing for the removal, but you could still use it for the other parts. But I don't really see this one seeing a lot of play. But all those cards were the cards in the starter deck for the Queen and Gaston decks, which were the Amber and Sapphire decks, as you can see here. Pretty good starter deck. So not a lot of crazy synergy when you see it right off the bat. Obviously it's a lot of the 7 Dwarves and Snow White, they come together into play, but compared to the other starter deck, which is the one that I played, which is the Tiana and Merlin pack starter deck, which is the Amethyst and Steel deck here. This one you can actually see a lot of the synergy that comes in right away with a lot of the bounce effects. So a lot of the Madame Mims and Merlins pretty much synergized together right off the bat. So that's pretty good to see. So let's go ahead and start that one. We're going to go ahead and look at that one. We're going to start off with the foil Tiana here. It's 4, not inkable. It's a 1 and 4. The foil, unfortunately, in the sleeves is hard to see, but it is resist +2. So it does have resist +2. It's 2 lore, and it says what you give is what you get. While this character is exerted and you have no cards in your hands, opponents can't play actions. You do run out of cards pretty quickly in your hand when it comes to Lorcana, but still, getting to the point of having no cards in your hand, it's going to be a little tough to really run with this card, unfortunately. But, I mean, if you find a way to be able to discard stuff and kind of have it that way, it's not too bad. But it is our first, this is the foil super rare that comes with that starter deck. Next one we see here is Krunk. It's a 6 cost, inkable, 4/5. Resist +1, so as you can see, a lot of the cards in steel here are going to have resist. It's 2 lore. Scout leader. During your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, you may deal 2 damage to chosen character. So the good thing about this card is that it has a 4/5, so it'll survive a lot. But you're able to quickly destroy at least 2 characters that have only 2 toughness. So obviously you destroy one and then you do 2 damage to another chosen character. So that's a pretty good, powerful card to use. It is inkable though if you don't see anything else coming out, so you can actually put it face down just for ink for the sake of playing something, but still pretty good card. The next one we're going to be looking at here is Merlin. It's a 4 cost, not inkable. It is a 2/3, but here we're starting to see some of the effects when it comes and leaving the field. So it comes into the field, which is when you play this character, and of course leaving the field or the battlefield when it leaves this place. So this one is Hoppity Hip. When you play this character and when he leaves play, you may draw a card. So it's a rare, and it's 2/3 with 1 lore. So this one obviously is one of the cards you want to be bouncing back and forth, and you want to draw more cards. It's pretty good to do. We have a foil Merlin here, Shapeshifter. This one is cost 4, but as you can see, it's inkable. 1 and a 5, so it'll survive a lot. Battle of Wits. Whenever one of your other characters is returned to your hand from play, this character gets +1 lore this turn. So as you can see, it only has 1 lore by default initially, but if you pair it with something that pretty much bounces this Merlin, not only do you get to draw cards, but you also get 1 more lore on top of that to be able to quest this card. So this is one of those cards you want to quest at the very end after you play a lot of your bounce mechanics in order to get the most maximum effect out of them at the same time. So it doesn't hurt for a lot. It does survive, but the 1 lore quickly can grow to 2 or more. Next card is the Huntsman. It's a rare. It's 2 and it's inkable. It has 1/1. It's 2 lore, so it is not that tough, but it does have 2 lore. So whenever this character quests, you may draw a card, then choose and discard a card. So quickly able to kind of look through your field and just kind of get rid of something that you want. Not the best when you only have, let's say, 1 card in your hand and you're not really, there's no real point of it. But the thing is, you may draw a card. So that's the good thing about the effect here. It says you may. So you don't have to do that when it comes to those effects, but you can. You can choose to do so if you wish. So that's a good thing about reading the may part there. All right. The next card here is Madam Mim, which is a rare. This is one of the cards that I talked about here. So when you play this character, banish her or return another chosen character of yours to your hand. So you don't want to play this card on its own when there's nothing else on the field. You definitely want to play it when there's something else on the field. And when you do play when something else on the field, let's say like the other Merlin that I talked about, you bounce that back into your hand, you get the effects out of it because it's leaving play. But this character also has Rush. It's a 4/3. It only costs 3. It's inkable, but it's only 1 lore. So it's a good synergistic card for bouncing when you have other things to do. Now the first uncommon here we're going to see is a Madam Mim. As you can see, the other one was a Madam Mim. The other one was a fox. This one's a snake. It's a 2 cost, inkable, 3/3. So just you wait. So when you play this character, banish her or return another chosen character of yours to your hand. So that's pretty interesting. So they are Madam Mim, so they have the similar effects, except that this one has Rush, and it's a fox, which is rare, and it's obviously tougher 4/3. This one is a 3/3, but it still has the same bounce effect. Either if you play her on the field by yourself, banish her, but if you have something else, return that chosen card to your hand instead. So same effects there. Now we get 3 Madam Mims in the starter deck, so 3 bounce effects plus the other one right away in your deck. So good synergy for that. We see another Cusco coming back into this one. This is cost 2. It's inkable. It's only 1 and 2, but when this character is banished, you may draw a card. So this is one of those good characters to keep questing with until people get rid of it, because then you can draw a card, or if you want to challenge something that's about to die that only has 1, to kind of sacrifice it for the effect of drawing a card, it's also a good one to use. So not bad. We get 3 of those Cuscos within this deck. The next one, the GOAT, Merlin. So it's a 4 cost, it's inkable, it's a 4/3, and when you play this character and he leaves play, gain 1 lore. And it's also, as you can see here, 1 lore already. So you can quest and it leaves the field, you get another lore on top of it, bring it back, and lower it, blah blah blah. Now it is a 4 cost, so you can't really be doing a lot, but I did see somebody that one of the things we had for this starter deck tournament that we could do is open up the actual packs that we had inside and then kind of upgrade the starter deck that we had. But for us, we chose to open them later here at home. But one person did open their decks that I saw, and he pulled an Arthur. That Arthur has the effects of when you bring it in, if it's on the field, if something leaves, you gain 2 lore automatically. So not only are you getting 2 lore from that Arthur, you're also gaining 1 lore from this Merlin itself leaving the field. So using this with the Madam Mim for all the bounce effects, you can pretty quickly combo with the Arthur, and it was a pretty sick combo. They pretty much used it on me, and it was over pretty fast. But this is a good card that I really enjoyed using this weekend with the Madam Mim. So it's just 3 Merlins included there. This is another Merlin. This is the Crab. It's cost 3. It's inkable. It's a 3/3. Ready or not. When you play this character and when he leaves play, chosen character gains challenger +3 this turn, and it's only 1 lore. So much like the other Merlin, this one also has an effect when it comes and leaves the battlefield, but this one, instead of gaining lore, it's all about buffing your characters so they can have more power to dish out to people. So challenger +3 this turn. We get 2 of those in the start deck. Yet another Merlin. This one's a squirrel. It's a 2/1. It costs 2 and it's inkable. So when you play this character and when he leaves play, look at the top card of your deck, put it on either the top or bottom of your deck, and it's only 1 lore. So this is a good one to kind of semi-scry and see what's coming up next on your deck, so you can kind of take advantage of like not just knowing what's in your hand, but also what's coming up next to kind of synergize and organize the kind of stuff you want to play. So it's again, the Merlins having the effects of entering and exiting the field, pretty well established right now in this purple. With the Madam Mims combination together, it's pretty unstoppable combos and pretty good synergy in this starter deck. So as you can see, we have 2 of those in this deck. Dr. Facilier. So it's another Dr. Facilier. This time it has evasive. Simple enough, evasive. 4 costs, inkable, and only gain 1 lore. But it's the first evasive, and I think the only evasive in this actual starter deck. So if you're going up against any actual evasive characters, you can use that for defense or for anything else. If you're playing against another similar starter deck, a lot of cards don't have evasive. You can quickly gain lore without it being affected by anything else, unless of course they use an action or on this card itself. So this one, we have 2 Dr. Faciliers on the starter deck. Now the next one, this one, a lot of fun, a lot of people enjoyed, is the Hey, the persistent presence. People were happy to talk about this card, the Hey, and the other, Lorcana starter decks. Obviously, we have the Hey coming back again. It's 2 costs, inkable. It's a 2/1, and when this character is banished in the challenge, return this card to your hand. So this card is gonna just be quickly just being able to ping stuff, challenge stuff, bring it back to your hand, put it back out on the field again. It gives you 1 lore if you want to quest. It's a fun card to kind of be a nuisance with, especially like if you have something you want to keep pinging, like a bigger one. Obviously, damage is persistent in this game, so having the Hey pretty much get banished in a challenge and then returning it to your hand every turn, pretty good. So the prince that's promised, Hey is back. We get 3 of those in this starter deck. Freeze, which is a chapter 1 card we've already seen, is an action, exert chosen opposing character. We get 2 of those in this deck. The new action that we see here though for chapter 2, which is Winnie the Pooh, and it's called I'm Stuck. It only costs 1, but it is inkable, and chosen exerted character can't ready at the start of your next turn. So you can freeze it and then go ahead and use this. Or and when it's your turn, somebody's quested and they have a lot of quests, like a lot of lore they can gain, just go ahead and make sure that they can't ready to start the next turn. It gives you another free turn without them getting more lore. So we get 2 of those here in this deck. The first vanilla card that we really see here, which is a 1 cost, inkable, chip the teacup, 2/2, 1 lore. Simple enough. Put it on the field or just use it for ink. 3 of those in this starter deck. Nice. This is the card that a lot of people saw at the beginning that was revealed that they really enjoyed. This is Cinderella. It costs 2. It's inkable. It's 2/2. When you play this character, you may draw a card, then choose and discard a card. So it's similar to some of the effects we've seen on the steel cards before. It's only 1 lore. So simple cost, inkable, basic card that we can really be using for a lot of things as well. And it's only 2 of those in the starter. We have Boost. 4, cost 4, it's inkable, it's a 3/4, and you're not welcome here. When you play this character, you may deal 1 damage to chosen character. So this is kind of one of those cards you can kind of bring in the field and kind of quickly ping something that's about to die or something that's about to be banished, and then if not, just quest. You could do 3 damage to something and then kind of like go ahead and ping the rest when you bring another one in the field. So it's a good one because it's 1 damage to chosen character. So it's only 1 damage, but it is a quick ping that you can easily use. You get 2 of those in this starter deck. Benja, or Benja as I say, but it's Benja. It's a 3 cost, inkable, 2/3. we have a choice. When you play this character, you may banish chosen item. So a lot similar, like similarly to the other starter deck that we saw, this one is also helping you remove items from the field, and it's 2 lore, and it also gives you 2 lore at the same time. 2 of those in this deck. From chapter 1, we get the Lilo, the vanilla card, 3 cost inkable, 4/2, and it gives you the chance of getting 2 lore. Another chapter 1 card that we also see in this deck is the Prince Eric. It's a 2 inkable. It's a 2 cost inkable, 1/3. You get a chance of 1 lore. Challenger only +2. Now this is a new one that we have for chapter 2, but it is a pretty vanilla card as well. 3 cost inkable, 4/3, 1 lore. Prince Naveen. Again, inkable. Bring it into the field for just quick hits. It is a 4/3, so it cannot really survive a lot, but it can do big hits, so it's pretty good. We get 3 of those in this starter deck. To continue the trend of princesses, I don't know, princess. Okay, all the multiple prince. We get the prince, 3 costs, inkable, 1/3, and you can gain 2 lore. This comes in bodyguard, so you can put it exerted. So when somebody's challenging something, they have to challenge it first. But it also has resist +1, so it can take the resistance and survive a lot more than just the toughness that you see right away. So that's the good thing about this. So again, every single thing that pings it for damage, that each thing gets reduced by 1. So it's not like only 1 throughout the whole turn. No. Every single thing that comes in and damages it, every time it's taking damage, that damage gets reduced by 1. You get 2 of those on the starter deck. Next card we here see is Lawrence. Costs 3 inkable. It's 0/4, but while this character has no damage, it gets +4 power. So that means that you can use, it's a pretty good card to attack something with, even though it's 0/4. But once it gets hit, that's when it goes down to 0. But you do get 2 lore out of it, so it's pretty good. Pretty good. We get 2 of those in this deck. Eli LaBouffe, Big Daddy. This is a 4 cost card, inkable, 2/5, and you have the chance of getting 2 lore. So another vanilla card. 2 of those in the starter deck. Hercules, another vanilla card. It's 2 costs, inkable, 2/3, and 1 lore. So it could survive at least 1 turn against most 2/2s, of course. You get 2 of those in this deck. Diana, another vanilla card, but it is a 1 cost, inkable, 1/3, and chance to gain 1 lore. Pretty good for a 1 cost, honestly. You don't get a lot of lore, but you can survive more than at least 1 turn, most of the time, so it's pretty good. You get 3 of those in this starter deck. We have Mouse Armor. This one is an uninkable, but it is a 2 cost. It is an item. Protection. So once you play this and you tap it, so every time you tap it on your turn, chosen character gains resist +1 until the start of your next turn. So pretty much when it's your turn, you want to go ahead and exert this, or tap it, and then choose a character to gain resist, because it gains resist through your whole turn of play, the opponent's turn of play, and then finally again on your turn of play. That's when the resist wears off. But you can of course just put it back on again, so you get 2 of those in this deck. So that's a pretty good card that I think is going to see a lot more play. That resist is a pretty powerful effect, especially like I said, because it's not overall damage, that you only get the minus resistance, like the resistance. So you get resistance every single turn of damage that happens. So pretty good one. So the last card we have here for the deck is the Last Cannon. It's 1 cost, it's inkable, it's Arm Yourself. This is an item. You pay 1 energy and you banish this item, and then chosen character gets Challenger +3 this turn. So it's a good way to buff your card if you want to remove something else off the opponent's battlefield, but you have to banish this and pay another another ink on top of the ink that you already paid to bring it in. But it is inkable, so they could find some good use for it as well. You get 2 of those in that starter deck. Now we're gonna jump into the best part about this video today is going to be the packs that we have. Now we have, again, 4 first chapter prize packs that we won from the tournament, or that we got from the tournament, and so we're going to open up those first, and then we have the 2 decks that came in the starter decks, the 2 packs that came in the starter decks, and then we have 4 more chapter 2 Lorcana packs that we got from the tournament as well. So we're going to go ahead and start with the 4 first chapter, followed by the 4 packs we got, and then lastly the 2 starter packs that we have. Why does it really matter, and why we're doing it? Just for fun, just to see if the starter deck luck continues, right, for people, and seeing if you really get good stuff out of the starter decks. All right, let's open it up. Hope you get something good out of these first chapters. Just like, even if no enchanted, just imagine just get a Rapunzel would be fantastic enough. We're gonna go pretty quickly through the common cards here. Do we get Plasma Blaster? Hey, a nice Aurora Dream Guardian here. Super rare, not bad. And then a foil Friends on the other side. We're gonna put the rares here to the side. Chapter. You never have enough Lorcana cards, right? Right, again, going quickly through. All right, so we see the Hades. Oh, Lady Tremaine rare. And then foil uncommon Rapunzel. All right. Starting with the Timon. So all the commons going through here. All right, so we get a rare Maui, rare Captain Hook, Captain of the Jolly Roger, and then foil Sergeant Tibbs, Captain my Captain now. Okay, it's fantastic. Sergeant Tibbs there. One of the cards that I just like have fun with, and I try to include it in every deck, even though it's a simple 1 cost, 1 inkable basic vanilla card. It's still a lot of fun to have in your deck. All right, let's see what we get for this. The last pack here. Nice, we get a Lilo rare. Still a very good card, very usable in a lot of decks. Really enjoyed that card. Maximus, super rare. And lastly, foil Dingle Hopper. Not the craziest of first chapter decks, but the Aurora was a pretty good one to get. Now, let's start off with the first packs that we have here for the Chapter 2 Lorcana set. We're hoping to, we're getting the Disney 100 one soon from one of our friends, and then we should hopefully get a Chapter 2 box soon. We do have another Chapter 1 box coming the way, so stay tuned for those pack openings as well. But for now, let's see. We're going to actually go through all these cards because it's the first time we really see a lot of the Chapter 2 cards. So it's Fidget, it's Evasive, 3 cost, Inkable, 3/2, 1 lore. Panic, it's 3 costs, not inkable to 2/3, but when you play this character, chosen character gets +2 power this turn. If the chosen character is in pain, he gets +4 instead. You can get a chance it's 2 lore. James, role model. It's 4 cost. It's a 3/3. Never ever lose sight. When this character is banished, you may put this card into your inkwell face down and exert it. Wow, it's the first one we see, kind of similar to like the Grammatala, except that the Grammatala is inkable, and of course it costs less, but they're both blue, so pretty good way to kind of keep getting use out of this card, because once it gets banished, you can still put it in your inkwell. You add more ink to for your turns, and you get the chance of getting 2 lore each time. The Queen, we've seen this one already, of course. It's 1 cost, inkable, 2/2, and you chance of 1 lore. Oh, another item. So it's cost 1, not inkable, Croquet Mallet. Hurling Hedgehog. Banishes item, chosen character gets rushed this turn. So it's a good way. Like, it only costs 1, put it on the field and save it in case you want to bring something in quickly to get rushed, kind of get rid of the opponent's board if they have a lot of things going on, right? The Beast, which is the one that we've seen already. Whoa, Pacha. That's a 6 cost inkable. Now that's a lot of high cost for a vanilla card, but it is inkable and it is a 4/8, so it can survive, and it gives you the chance of getting 2 lore each time you quest. Tiana, the 5 cost inkable card. It's a 5/3, and you have the chance of getting 3 lore each time you quest. It's pretty vanilla as far as any like actual effects, but pretty good power, and of course 3 ink each quest. It's pretty good. Cogsworth. It's a 2-cost, inkable, talking clock. It's a 2/3, and the chance of getting 1 lore each time you quest. Now, your character with Reckless gains Exert, gain 1 lore. Huh. So I do know that we have some Reckless characters, I believe, like obviously the Maui, which is one of the enchanted ones that we pulled. If you want to check out the other videos, I'll link that down below. It has Reckless as well. So that also has the turn of every time you exert it, you gain 1 lore. So not only can you quest with it and gain 1 lore, you can also like attack with the gain 1 lore because, or you just choose to just exert it, gain 1 lore. I don't know how that's. Oh, I'm sorry. The Reckless cards don't have. We did see them out here. My apologies. We did see them out here from the other one. The Reckless cards usually don't have any lore, so it does have a chance to gain lore when it comes into the field if it's Reckless. So pretty good. Kind of give more ability to those cards that you know are going to come in just swinging most of the time, but you can tap it just to gain lore. Our first rare, which is a Madam Mim, which is a good one to get. We've already enjoyed the synergy with it with the bounce effects, and it's the first bounce, the first rare that we get from our own packs, which is good. Oh, Mickey Mouse friendly face. 6 cost, inkable, 1 and a 6. Whenever this character quests, you may pay 3 ink less for the next character you play this turn, and you have a chance of getting 3 lore every time you quest. Wow, this is pretty powerful. So you quest to get the 3 lore, and then your next character you play costs 3 ink less. Wow, that's pretty good. We're gonna definitely see a lot of play from this Mickey Mouse getting to effect. You can bring in very powerful cards much sooner based on this effect alone. Plus, you get 3 lore every time you quest. It's a 1/6, so it will survive a little bit. Pretty good card here. Pretty good card. And the last one we have is a foil common Verana. It's a 5 cost, inkable, 5/5, and you get to lore. So it's another vanilla card, but it is the first foil that we see. All right, next turn. All right, so Peter Pan's Dagger. Your character with evasive gets +1 power, and it only costs 2. It is an item, so once it's on the field, it pretty much transforms your field to making sure all your evasive characters get +1 anytime they want. So it's a good one to throw in with those rare cards. Of course, any of those evasive cards, if people are playing like a full evasive, red, green, good one to put on there because your state of your board gets greatly affected the whole time it's out. Flynn Rider, we get another Flynn in green, which is a 1 cost, inkable, 1/3, and a chance to gain 1 lore every time you quest. Basil, it's a 4 ink cost, inkable, 3/4, and a chance of getting 2 lore every time you quest. Now we're seeing a lot more of the vanilla cards just out of the packs than we did the starter decks. Grumpy, which we've already seen. Merlin, nice. It's always good to get more Merlins here, which we've already seen. Tiana, which we've already seen as well. Nice. Okay, this is another one that a lot of people were happy to see. It's a Rapunzel. It's a 5 ink cost. It's inkable. It's a 0/6, but shift 3. Also, whenever you remove 1 or more damage from one of your characters, you may draw a card. So as long as you remove 1 damage, it doesn't matter how much more you remove after that, you can draw a card. So it has good synergy with, you know, those actual cards that remove damage from your cards. Pair it with this, and of course you have the chance of gaining 2 lore whenever you quest. So pretty good. Madam Mim, which you've already seen as well. Ooh, it's a new one for us. The Most Diabolical Scheme. 3 cost. It's a song. Banish chosen villain of yours to banish chosen character. Okay, so if you already have a villain that's already taking a lot of damage, why not get rid of it to get rid of the biggest threat on the field on your opponent's side, right? It's a good way to sacrifice your villains for the good of the cause. All right, our first rare for this pack is an item. Radigan's Marvelous Trap. It's a 3 ink cost. Snap, Boom, Twang. Banish this item. Each opponent loses 2 lore. So, of course, if you're playing one-on-one, they lose 2 lore. But play this in one of those cards that's good in multiplayer game when you're playing against 3 other people. They each lose 2 lore. Pretty good catch-up mechanic there. Winnie the Pooh, Having a Think. It's a rare. It's a 3 cost, inkable, 2/3, Honey Pot. Whenever this character quests, you may put a card from your hand into your inkwell face down. So to go way to ramp up, get the chance of getting 2 lore each turn. And then a foil is the James, which you've already seen as well. Oh, and then I didn't even notice. I totally forgot to put this together. But looks like this time we're getting the chance of trying to complete the 4-piece scuba mini. So we do have the Mickey completed already. We'll see if we can get the mini completed either with these cards or getting it later on with the other cards. So that's pretty cool. They're going to be doing that. Each set kind of has something new to put together. So let's go through it again. Oh, now we got the crinkle on this one. I don't know if you guys can see it there. Yeah. Wow. Luckily, it looks just that one. Peter Pan's dagger, which we've seen already. Enchantress. It's a 2 ink cost. Inkable. 1/1. While being challenged, this character gets +2 power, and you get the chance of getting 2 lore each time you quest. Duke Weaselton, Small Time Crook. It's a 2 ink cost. It's inkable. 1/2, and you get ward. Plus, you get the chance of getting 2 lore each time you quest. Mulan. It's a 3 ink cost card. It's a 2/3 and has support. So whenever this character quests, you may add their power to another character's chosen power to his turn, and it gives you the chance of getting 2 lore each time you quest. Nice. Legend of Sword in the Stone. It's an action song. It's 2 ink cost. It's inkable, and chosen character gains challenger +3 this turn. Beast, which you've already seen as well. Mouse Armor, which you've already seen. Bell, first Bell uncommon here. It's a 3 ink cost Bookworm. It's a 2/4. So while an opponent has no cards in their hand, this character gets +2 lore. So just on its own, it has one. You get a chance of 1 lore each time you quest. But if the opponent has no cards in their hands, it has a chance of getting 3 lore each time you quest. Pretty cool. Nick Wild. So sorry, I'm gonna go back to that Bell. So if you run something that could discard, like make them discard to the point where they have nothing in their hand, and you're able to kind of synergize with this, get more lore each time you quest. Nick Wild, Wily Fox. It's a 4 ink cost card. It's inkable. It's a 2/4. It's called the Hustle. When you play this character, you may return an item card named Popsicle from your discard to your hand, and you get the chance of getting 2 lore each time you quest. Alright, so we get Christopher Robin here as our first rare for this pack. It's a 6 ink cost. It's inkable, 2/6. Whenever you ready a character, this character, if you have 2 or more characters in play, you gain 2 lore, and you get the chance of getting 2 lore on its own every time you quest. So we've seen this card already as well. Ooh, Maurice's Workshop. The 3 ink cost. It's an item. Whenever you play another item, you may pay 1 to draw a card. The last one we have is a foil common, which is a Mulan. 4 ink cost, 4/3, and it has rush, and also the chance of getting 1 lore each time you quest. So out of those 4 packs, we're not going to be able to finish the Mickey just alone. I mean the mini alone, because we do have 2 of the same cards already. All right, let's go through this one. Merlin, we're seeing. Ooh, is a new one for us. Felicia, Always Hungry. It's a 1 ink cost, inkable, 3/1, and it has Reckless. So this one could work with those that gives the Reckless chance to tap for 1 lore. Queen of Hearts, it's a 2 cost. It's a 1/2. Whenever you play this character, deal 1 damage to chosen damage opposing character, and it gets 2 lore for each time you quest. Duke Weaselton, which you've seen already. Happy, you've seen that already. So we're getting more dwarfs though. Last Cannon, seen that already. Pinocchio, hey, the first time we see this one. It's a 2 ink cost. It's a 1/1. When you play this character, you may exert chosen opposing character. Hey, bring it to the field, exert opposing character, and then challenge it with something else. And it has a chance of getting 1 lore each time you quest. Mother Gothel, it's a different version this time. It's a 2 ink, inkable, 3/4. This character enters play with 3 damage. Whoa. So, puts on the field 3 damage, play something else that removes damage at the same time to like synergize with it. There you go. And you can gain 1 lore each time you quest. Mouse Armor, which we've seen already. Hey, Lumiere. This is a rare. It's a 7 cost inkable. 7/7. You get a chance of getting 2 lore each turn. That's a pretty big card. It's a beefy 7/7, 2 lore, but it is inkable. Wow, okay. Nice. It's a super rare here in Peter Pan's Shadow. It's a 4 ink cost, evasive, and it has rush. Plus, your other characters with rush also gain evasive. Wow. You can put this out there and make sure you have a lot of other cards with rush. They all gain evasive at the same time. Plus, you can also get 2 ink. I mean, you can get 2 lore each time you quest with it. Not bad. We have a foil Ring the Bell here. This is a 3 ink cost, inkable action, which when played says banish chosen damage character. So again, bringing in your beast to ping, or bringing in the cards to ping other characters down. You know, 1 damage to whatever character you play that, and you banish at the same time. Pretty good tendency with that. All right, the last 2 packs here today. These are the full starter deck packs. Let's see what kind of luck they have. Snow White, which we've seen. Ooh, nice. Now this is a favorite of a lot of people. This is the Winnie the Pooh Honey Wizard. Just the art on it is insane. Look at that. I wanted to see if I can get the play mat for this one for my wife, but unfortunately they were sold out when we were trying to get it from the comic bug. But it is a 5 cost, inkable. It's a 5/5, and you can get 2 lore when you quest. Let's look at the flavor text. He'd always felt a kinship with honey. They were both golden and sweet, and likely to end up in sticky situations. Winnie the Pooh, Honey Wizard, fantastic card. Just on like the flavor win alone. Felicia, which we've already seen. Queen of Hearts, we've seen. James, we've seen. Last Cannon, we've seen. Rapunzel, we've seen. Oh, a lot of the cards that we've seen. Fang Crossbow, we've seen as well. Card Soldiers. This is a 5 cost. It's a 5/5, and you get the chance of getting 2 lore each time you quest. First rare here, World's Greatest Criminal Mind. It's a 3 ink cost, inkable, banish chosen character with 5 power or more. So this is a good action / stalling to run if you know you're going to play against an opponent that has big powered creatures. Man, it's kind of tough to really play it because a lot of stuff is going to have that much power at the beginning. The Sorcerer's Spellbook, 3 ink cost, knowledge. You tap it and you pay 1 ink to gain 1 lore. Well, you can gain 1 lore each turn for sure without having other creatures or like characters on the board. Pretty good. Now we have a foil Hold Still, which is an action. It's a 2 ink cost, inkable action. It says remove up to 4 damage from chosen character. It's a pretty good heal card. There you go. Ooh, and we get the Wide-Eyed Diver. We get the first one that's a different side from the 2 that we got. Can we get the last piece for that Minnie Mouse here? We will have to wait. Hopefully we do. That'd be pretty cool to be able to kind of finish it out in the first few packs that we get. Oh, Baloo! It's a 3 ink cost, inkable, 4/3, and you can get 1 ink each turn. Improvise. It's an action. It's a 1 ink cost. It's inkable, and it says chosen character gets +1 power this turn, and you draw a card. The Nook we've already seen. Oh, it's a new Rapunzel here. It's a 2 ink cost, inkable, 1/4, magic hair. You can tap this to remove up to 2 damage from chosen character. So it's not one of those, hey, you put it on the field and that's the only time. It's you just pretty much exert it each time, and you can remove 2 damage from chosen character. So a good way to heal. Plus, you can also have the choice of getting 1 lore each time you quest. Enchantress. Already. Hercules, we've seen already. Eli LaBeouf, we've seen that already. Bounce. The 2 ink cost action. Return chosen character of yours to your hand. Return chosen characters of yours to your hand to return another chosen character to their player's hand. So, AK, you bounce one of yours to bounce one of theirs. So, pretty good. And it's only 2 costs. It's not inkable, though. Hey, look at this Pinocchio uncommon. It's a 5 cost. You can shift to 3, and it's a 3/3. Listen to your conscience. When you play this character, you may return chosen character or item with cost 3 or less to their player's hands. And you have the chance of getting 2 lore each time you quest. So again, a lot of bounce mechanics we're going to be seeing with this set. A lot of bounce mechanics, indeed. Christopher Robin rare, which you've already seen, which is pretty good. King Louis, super rare, look at that. 7 ink cost, inkable. It's a 3/8, laid on the line. Whenever another character is banished, you may remove up to 2 damage from this character. It's making sure that you have other stuff that you get rid of first, or other stuff you use for challenging first, to have this one survive longer, and you can get 2 lore each time you quest with it. And lastly, ooh, it's a good one here. It's a foil Minnie Mouse. It's a 2 ink cost, inkable, 3/2, and you get 1 ink each time you choose to quest. So with that, that ends our look at the starter decks and as well as the packs that we have for Lorcana. The both, not just the first chapter but also the second chapter. We got some good ones in the Lilo and the Aurora. We got some Christopher Robins back to back, so now we have a couple of those. We're gonna be looking at what else, like the synergies work with these Lorcana decks. But thank you guys so much for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. As always, if you guys like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you can know every time another video comes up. We try to do videos, at least pack openings, every Monday at 10 a.m. We're trying to see how we can put some videos up on Sunday as well. We do gameplay videos for both Pixelborn and Magic the Gathering Arena so far on Fridays at 10 a.m. as well, so check out for that. I appreciate it. Of course, go ahead and comment down below, like, what's been your best pull so far for chapter 2? Have you even gotten your chance to get anything for chapter 2? Has it been difficult for you? I know it's like I saw some LGSs putting stuff for really high markup prices, but luckily I was able to go to LGS that I support. LGS was really helpful, and I was able to pick up stuff pretty much MSRP, and at the same time enjoy a quick tournament with other people there as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope to see you guys next time. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful night, afternoon, wherever you are. Take care of yourselves.